Hey guys, welcome to this video. We're going to focus on adding and subtracting mixed numbers, which is just fractions with the whole number and a fraction put together. Comes directly from TEK 5.3K, where we add and subtract positive rational numbers fluently. We'll have unlike denominators. We'll be finding common denominators and then simplify fractions at the end if necessary. Okay, so for our first example, we have 4 3/8 and 2 3/4. Our denominators are not the same. I encourage kids to just look at the denominators and can one be divided into the other without any remainders. Well, 8 doesn't go into 4, but 4 goes into 8 twice. So what that tells me is I can go ahead and just use 8 as my common denominator. You double the denominator to get 8, and that means you have to double the numerator. These are actually equivalent ratios, or equivalent fractions, 3/4 and 6/8. Now I can add them. So I'm going to add 4 and 2, which will give me 6. I'll add the numerators of 9, which is 3 plus 6, and then I keep my denominator. If you remember, you cannot have a bigger numerator than denominator. We actually call that an improper fraction, and it does require simplifying. So you're going to take out one whole, which is 8 over 8. A lot of kids don't realize that 8 over 8 is just 1, but then I tell them, what's 8 divided by 8? And they go, oh, 1. Well, there you go. I took 1 out. So 9/8 minus 8 over 8, which will give me 1/8. Okay. Now I have to add that. I can't just take out one whole and not account for it. So the final answer is 7 1/8. All right, let's move on to the second problem. This one's a little challenging, and kids typically find this a little more difficult to deal with, which is why I included it on the video. I'm not going to include problems that you'll easily be able to solve. So in elementary, we did some skip counting to find the least common multiple. So we have 2, 6, and 9. So all my multiples of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I will stop there. I'm going to go with 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. I'm going to repeat the process for 9, 18, 27, 36, 45. So at this point, the only thing that I see that is the same, 12 and 12, well, there's no 12 on the 9, so that won't work. But the next one is 18. I don't have an 18 for the 2, but if I continued, I would, which would give me my least common multiple, or actually my common denominator of what I was looking for. So I like to put my denominator, my new denominator, next to my old denominator. So how did 2 become 18? By multiplying it by 9. So we'll also multiply the numerator by 9. Now for 6, 6 became 18 by timesing it by 3. So the final is 9 becomes 18 by 2. So we're going to double our numerator 2. So at this point, you have 15 plus 14, which is 29, plus 9 more. That gives me, gosh, brain fart here, 38. This is 38 over 18. And then my whole number is 6. However, we can't leave it an improper, so I'm just going to start off simple. Some of you already may know that there's an easier way, but I'm just going to go just show you all the steps. I took out one whole, and that means this becomes 7, and this becomes 20 over 18. Still an improper, so I'm going to take another whole number out. And this now becomes 8, because when I take out these whole numbers, I add it to the actual whole numbers that are in the original problem. So at this point, I'm left with 2 over 18. So at this point, I have 8 and 2 18s. That would be considered sort of wrong in the fact that we didn't simplify it. 2 and 18 are both divisible by 2. So then that final answer is 8 and 1/9. All right, let's go to a subtraction. I'm trying to go as fast as possible so we can cover as much ground in minimal time. So I'm going to rewrite it. It's just preference. My common denominator is 12. Now, I strategically placed this in the video because what happens is kids will go, oh, it's just 1/12. Well, you can't take 10 out of 12 from 9 out of 12. You actually have to regroup, borrow. I guess it just depends however your teacher taught you. We're going to take 1 from here. This becomes 4. I'm going to add that 1 over here. This becomes 21 over 12. Now 21 over 12 minus 10 over 12 actually works. It can be solved. 4 minus 2 is 2. That's our final answer. Okay, for the last one, I encourage you, pause the video, try to solve it yourself, and then unpause and come compare it with my work. All right, for the first thing is our common denominator. 8 and 9, that's not an easy one. I'm going to show you another way where a lot of teachers will share this. I remember my own teacher telling me, just multiply the denominators. And what I mean by that is 9 times 8 is 72. So that we know our denominator will be 72. How did 9 become 72? Well, we multiplied it by 8. And then numerator gets multiplied by 8. We're not going to use 8 again. We're going to use 9. Because that's how 8 became 72. This is 63. So now 5 minus 2 is 3. And then 63 minus 8 is 55 over 72. So I know 55 is only divided by 5 and 11. So there's nothing that I can divide them both into to simplify. If there was, that'd be my greatest common factor. Okay, well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful.